All right, time now for Lee Williams to join us. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're talking about a trend that you guys are seeing.
It's an interesting phenomenon going on in Massachusetts. February 1st, the bump fire stocks, or the bump stocks, whatever you want to call them, became illegal. They became contraband. And it's a pretty serious law. It's a felony to possess one, up to 20 years in prison.
Wow.
And before the ban, there were some gun stores that were selling hundreds of them.
Really?
One gun store owner that was interviewed said he could have sold 200 a day. So you would think that all the people had to turn them in to the state police starting effective February 1st. As of yesterday, you know how many were turned in?
No.
3.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I know.
That is amazing.
I think gun owners there feel very put upon. This is my humble opinion. I wrote a column about it.
Right.
I think they've just said enough is enough, that they are no longer going to comply.
For the folks out there who don't know what bump stocks are.
It's a stock that mounts to a rifle, and it's got a spring in it and a place to hold your finger. The shooter out in Las Vegas had several on his rifles. It's a novelty. I don't use them. I don't know anybody who's serious that uses them, but you know, some people like them. They use them at the range and they're going out and screwing around. Yeah, it's a novelty.
What other states besides Massachusetts?
There's a few out east that have banned them.
Okay.
There's about 45 states where they're legal and about 5 states that have banned them.
Okay.
This is eerily reminiscent of what happened in New York, not just recently, where they were all the people with gun licenses that have a license to possess were told they needed to come in and renew them, and thousands just said no. So I think what we're seeing, again, this is my opinion, is some kind of just a quiet revolution starting in the Northeast. And you know, those people in Massachusetts, especially those in Boston, they love their freedom. They like their coffee black and and they like their tea in the harbor. So
I think so.
I think for a quiet revolution, that's an oddly historical place for this to start. And you can read all about it. I wrote a column about that yesterday.
Okay, well, definitely interesting. All right, so what else is coming up this week?
We have a very, very interesting podcast coming up, our Think Aim Fire podcast. My co-host, Bob Keller, Gamut Resolutions, is one of the best, if not the best, firearms trainer in the world. I've taken his courses, so I can say that. We're devoting our whole hour to kids and guns. We're going to talk about how to teach gun safety to kids, and then all the way up through marksmanship, because kids don't learn like adults learn, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
So we have a very special guest joining us, and we're devoting the whole hour to how to talk to your kids about guns. There's a lot of tools out there for parents. A couple of the pro shooters, a female pro shooter, I think she shoots for Team Glock, just came up with a really cool coloring book for parents to use with their kids to talk about gun safety. And obviously NRA has had this Eddie Eagle program for years, which is cartoonish about gun safety. That was developed here in Florida. It's now nationwide. Developed by our former NRA president, Marion Hammer, who's now the president of the state NRA affiliate here. Eddie Eagle has taught gun safety to, I don't know, probably more than 1 million kids.
Wow.
Yeah, and that started here in Florida. So we're going to talk about these tools and how to teach and how to talk to your kids about gun safety, all the way up to the progression from toy guns to air guns to BB guns up to real firearms. So if you have children and you're interested in having them learn a little about gun safety or even marksmanship, download Think Aim Fire this week.
Okay, all right. Always great to talk to you, and so much to talk about, and I'm looking forward to next week already.
I'll be here.
Okay, and we'll see you guys right after the break. Stick around.